Righto team, welcome to the Moto Morini Seiemmezzo STR. So a wee while ago I rode the Scrambler version of this bike, the SCR, and today I am on the beautiful Rhine Red STR. STR obviously meaning street. And surprisingly, there's actually a few more differences to this bike than I actually initially thought. Compared to the Scrambler, so you've got different tyres and different wheels. This has alloys where the Scrambler has spokes. The handlebar position is different. Seat's different. And the tyres, if I haven't already said that, are different. You've got Pirelli Angel GTs on this as factory, where the Scrambler had sort of Pirelli's, I don't want to say Scrambler tyre, they're more of like a flat track style tyre. Still the same Kawasaki derived parallel twin at the centre of the bike. Brembo brakes with adjustable levers, which is quite nice. Nice TFT, car trying to run into you. Poor line choice there, Matt. And a couple of other styling touches. So obviously my favourite thing about this bike is this red paint it's got. It is very magic. And hopefully at the top of this hill we'll find our way to the radio tower, which is hopefully quiet, and we can do a bit of a look over. So far, I'm rather enjoying this. It's definitely got a lot more go than the last bike I rode, which was my bike, which is finally back from the shop. And before that, it was the Royal Enfield Hunter 350, which has even less outright horsepower, so this is quite quick to what I'm used to at the moment. Amazingly, it is LAMS approved though, and I don't think you're going to have any issues with wanting more power out of a learner bike. Yeah, there's plenty of poke in that engine. I have noticed around 5,000 RPM you start to feel a bit of a buzzing through the foot pegs. But the trick is either accelerate through it or change gear. And it doesn't bother you. Basically no vibrations coming through to the handlebar, which is nice. Nothing high frequency anyway. Oh, it's nice to be on a bike that tips in very quickly and easily. Oh. So you can't see it right now because I have a conveniently placed action camera, but this has the same TFT dash as the SCR version. So it's got the same modes and displays. This is where I want to go. Goodix Road, yep. Yeah. So, come up here, it's a reserve. There should hopefully be no one around. It should be nice and quiet. We can look over this thing. Yeah, no one up here. Not quite as picturesque as I was hoping, but it's got a sweet view of the area. Untitled tree. Classic Kiwi sheep. Didn't know we had this many sheep close to Cambridge. Thought we were all about horses and cows. That's a nice thing to discover. So, let's crank you off. There we go. Rightio, team. So, the Moto Morini Seiemmezzo STR. So, visually, it's got that amazing paint. They call this Rhine Red, It reminds me very much of a colour that Mazda do. They call it Soul Red. Got the same LED headlight with DRL, daytime running light. Same adjustable suspension, Brembo brakes, and basically the same geometry from what I understand. Same interesting exhaust. So that bit's just a cover. You've literally just got a collector box and a pipe coming out of it, and that's a styling choice. Adjustable rear shock as well. Yeah, she's quite a beautiful looking motorcycle. Now I go here and there on the fuel tank because the fuel tank is the same as the SCR, so it's quite a clamshell design. It's quite broad and muscly. It looks quite broad-shouldered, this bike, but it only holds about 15 or 16 litres. And the other thing that stylistically you don't really have much choice in is that doodad, your charcoal canister for your emissions, which necessary evil as it is. So I rather like this motorcycle. Riding it, yeah, we've only done a couple of Ks on it, so we'll see how we go in that respect. Yeah. So it turns out I've just been talking to myself for about half an hour, and I wasn't recording any audio, because I am a right frickin' numpty. Ugh. Oh, man, I hate it when I do that. So the way I record my audio on these things is I don't have a lapel microphone plugged directly into the DJI, because you just get horrific clipping if you stick a half-decent mic in there. You have to get a inline volume adjuster that you splice in between the microphone and the DJI to have any hope of getting quality audio. So I record all my stuff through the Cardo. So I've got a Pack-Talk Edge sitting on the side of my helmet. It's got a boom mic right next to my mouth, and that is how I record audio. I have to set a voice memo on my phone, and it records to that. And what I've just done, being the utter frickin' numpty that I am, I turned the Cardo off when I was trying to take some photos earlier, and I didn't turn it back on, because I am a twat. So, what did I even say in that last half hour? I accidentally found myself on some gravel, which was interesting. The Pirelli tyres definitely aren't for gravel riding. The Angel GTs. Not huge fans of the gravel, these tyres, but they did an admirable job. Just slow down. Any bike can ride on gravel, you just have to adapt your riding for it. Anyway, the STR, I was saying before I realised that the mic wasn't recording, was that, yeah, I think this might actually be my preferred version of the Seiemezzo. So, I think the styling's just a little bit more authentic. The Scrambler has its little beak upper fairing, upper mudguard, I should say. It just seems I don't want to say it looks a bit try-hard, but it's looking more like a Scrambler, even though it doesn't necessarily have the scrambling credentials to back up its looks. Where this is just a standard sit on it, ride it motorcycle. It's not really trying to be anything specifically. Add to that this gorgeous paint. It's love the bright red paint that Moto Morini has for this bike. So the SCR variants have more earthy tones for their paint. You've got the forest green, matte black, and it's either a blue or a beige. I can't remember what the third colour is. But you get more vibrant colours with the STR. Add to that the fact the STR costs a little bit less. And I know I'm a cheap ass at heart, but I definitely think that this bike is not cheap and nasty. It's got some really nice quality components to it. You've got your Brembo brakes, you've got your adjustable suspension front and back, Pirelli Angel GT tyres. Wheel sizing is an 18 front, 17 rear, just in case you're wondering. And it's quite a lovely bike once you get used to it. The last bikes I've been riding lately have been under 25 horsepower, so this feels very lively compared to those. So throughout my journey, I was probably saying, I've currently got the adjustable brake lever set as far out as I can get it. There was just a little bit too much play in it for my liking. TFT dash, instruments, switch gear, it's all the same as the SCR. So it all falls in quite nicely. You get nice feedback when you hit a switch. And unlike that Benelli Leoncino 800, which had a wonderful engine and chassis, the TFT on that, you couldn't even adjust your odometer or anything on the fly, where at least on this, you've got connectivity built in, which I haven't currently done anything for. You can switch through your trip meters on the fly. You don't realise how much a nice thing that is to be able to do until you can't do it. Which is really strange, because Benelli makes really cracking bikes. And yeah, that was just a very odd decision. Anyway, we're going to try and find somewhere pretty to get a photo or two of this bike, hopefully. Depending how grubby it is after I took it on that gravel road. I'm going to have to let this guy in the V-dub in front of me, because he doesn't even have a clue I'm here. Oh, the bike even knows what colour it is. Got tyre pressure monitoring in this as well, which is very handy to not have. Yeah, definitely, considering this bike is priced roughly the same as that Benelli Leoncino 800, but it's LAMS approved and you've got much more functional instrumentation. If you want the outright performance and the sort of more scrambler-ish vibe, go for the Benelli, but if you want a more functional bike, go for this one.